Hello everyone and welcome to Alida School. Alida School is an online school that is set out to teach the next generation of tech talent in Africa. And in this front-end development for beginners course, we will be talking about HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Hi, my name is George Kwebu, a Nigerian-based software developer with computer engineering degree. I began my software career in 2017 when I transitioned from hardware to software for the first time, and I never looked back. To get started with this course, we will be installing some softwares which will enable us to write a cleaner code. Throughout this course, you'll get to learn how to write clean codes and also refactor your codes and avoid common mistakes that comes your way. And upon completion of this particular course, you'll be receiving a certificate. To get started, simply visit Google and search for VS Code. Click on the first link that appears here. Now, depending on the machine you're using, by machine, I mean the system you're using to access the website, it gets detected. I'm currently on Mac, so you get to click on Download Mac Universal to get the software in your system. I currently do have this on my system, so I don't get to download it again. Once you've downloaded and installed the software, you'll be greeted with this particular Get Started screen. Here, you'd learn how to create a new file, open an existing file, clone a Git repository, though this is not part of our course right now. The next thing I did was to create a folder on our desktop, and I can simply drag this folder, and I called it front end course, and I dropped it inside of this software here, which is called VS Code, Visual Studio Code. It's basically our text editor where we'll be writing most of our HTML, CSS, and JavaScript codes. Now, to get started with some extensions, go to this icon here, which is the extension marketplace, search for live server. Now, live server allows you to spin up a local server on your machine to avoid always refreshing your browser whenever you make changes on your code. Mine is currently installed, so it's showing me uninstall, but yours will be install, which when you click on it, it gets to install the software for you. Over here, we'll get to create our index.html file, put in the necessary starter code. Now, I'm using this shortcut, but in the slide, when we get to learn about HTML, we'll learn how to write out the code one by one. So hold on Shift and number 1 to get this shortcut. Hit enter to get your boilerplate. When you want to create your CSS file, say it's called style.css, you still create it in the same folder as your index.html. When you also want to create your JavaScript file, we're going to be calling it app.js. You also create it in the same folder as your index.html file. If you're trying to add an image or a video or any content inside of this HTML file, you need to drag and drop them inside of this folder so you have access to it. Now, throughout this course, you'd get to learn using the slides, and anything you see on the slide, you can also practice them out here. It would get to work. Stay tuned for the next section.